Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Tomorrow is Friday, and I'm looking forward to it. It is 11 or almost 11:30 Eastern. So I just been browsing through the that so-called red wave of 2021, and I'm surprised this has not made that nobody's really talking about this in the mainstream media. The red wave has also hit New York State. Basically, um, basically, as we all know, the big story in New York was Eric Adams won the mayor race. Yeah, shocker. Not really. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen. But what they didn't tell you was in the suburban areas of New York, what's been happening. The Republicans are reclaiming the offices they lost during the Trump era. And, like, for example, Long Island, basically Nassau County. Now, Nassau County, I believe used to vote Democrat, and it was basically one of the, you could say that it voted Democrats in local and statewide elections. But in this, and they also had they had the incumbent county executive, but which was also held by Democrats. But on election day, basically, the Republicans they reclaimed that office. They reclaimed the county executive in Nassau County. And also, another thing you also got to look at is that a lot of the district attorney offices around Suffolk County and Nassau County and Long Island, basically, Republicans claim that this defund the police and this woke stuff is really killing the Democratic Party. And the funny part is, that some of these Democrats are just too stupid to notice this. I mean, if you watch on the PBS interview with James Carville, I'm not a big James Carville fan myself. I mean, but like they say, a broken clock is right twice a day. And James Carville said that he blames it on this stupid wokeness, and I couldn't agree with more. I mean, I couldn't agree with him more because guess what? This wokeness is like what defund the police, tearing down statues, canceling people online, destroying people's livelihoods, making bully destroy. I mean, this is why, like I said, this is the main reason why people are turned off against this Democratic Party, and they are joining the Republican Party. In fact, even where I currently live in Florida, I mean, the Democrats have hammered so much votes that now Republicans are about to pass them. But that's a story I'll keep for another day. But going back to New York, basically, New York, what you had Andrew Cuomo, that guy was a creep, and now he's under a criminal. Well, he has some criminal charges to him. Now you have Kathy Hochul, um, who was a moderate, but now she's has a Democratic primary. And what's happened is that since it all starts in the local level, basically, when you have the like places along Long Island especially in the suburbs where Republicans are starting to win, then you're in trouble. But it's not just the suburbs now; it's also in the city. Check this out. Republicans made gains in New York City Council for the first time since 2009. Yes, they had the most city council seats since 2009. So, like I'm saying, like this red wave that's coming, basically, the battleground is not going to be in your traditional southern states in Georgia, also in the Midwest or even the West. It's going to be in the Northeast. Your battleground districts are in the Northeast. So I can see that. So I predict that next year, because of what I've seen with Virginia and New Jersey, that instead of Republicans taking 60 seats, they might take 70 seats. And that would be the worst midterm defeat for any incumbent president that I ever known. I mean, the worst one was so far Obama had the worst, which was 63. Like he lost 63 seats, and that was during 2010. It's funny how history repeats itself. Yeah. So like I say, so going back to New York City, where the Republicans made gains in the city council, well, like for the first time since 2009. So basically, yeah, he said quality of life issues such as crime is a huge issue in New York. I mean, you seen the homicide rate up there. I mean, what's going on, especially with this defund the police. Yeah, that's really bad. I'm telling you, that is backfiring on that so hard, and I won't be surprised that in other cities, like going forward, they're going to be that Republicans will start actually running candidates for city council, and they'll start winning because when the quality of life goes down, when people feel unsafe, and you know everybody has limits. I mean, there's so much that the typical Democratic voter can tolerate before they say, "I give up." I can't take this anymore. Give me anything but the D. Not in that way, though. Not in that way. uh, okay, so anything but the D. But like I say, still, I mean, I'm surprised that nobody's even talking about this. And like I say, they're also making inroads with minority voters too. Like take what's happening in Texas. Like they won a district which was 70% Latino, and the Republicans won a district 70% Latino. They've been talking. They ain't going to turn Texas blue anytime at all. They're not going to take turn. I don't think they're going to turn Texas blue this decade. I mean, probably give it like another 12 years, but this decade, I don't see it happening. But other than that, what I think could happen is that the Republicans are energized and they could win the governorship next year. I mean, the seeds are being sown. You have a Democratic Party that is alienating people left and right. And some of these guys and the northeastern I mean the northeastern Republicans tend to be more moderate on social issues and more fiscally conservative on issues such as taxes and all. And that's why in places like New Jersey, that race was pretty very close. And on top of that, as I said in my radio regarding about Virginia, yeah, the blue collar workers they have officially abandoned the Democratic Party, or you could say the Democratic Party abandoned them. In fact, I would say the Democratic Party has abandoned them based on all the rhetoric that's been coming out from the DNC for the past 10 years. But and I say this as a former Democrat myself. I like I said, moderate voter, lean left on some issues, lean right on some others. But I'm just giving you the facts right there. So I think that whoever's running for the Republican nomination, I think it's Lee Zeldin, who is um, he's a congressman from Long Island. Yeah, I think he is the best shot to win the governorship because he comes from Long Island and he might turn the suburban areas of Long Island red. And don't forget upstate. There's a lot of blue collar workers in upstate, and I'm sure they get sick of this wokeness and all this other race baiting nonsense that's been going on, and they're just sick of. I'm pretty sure that the vast majority of the people in New York are just sick of how everything is going. They're sick of the crime. They're sick of the taxes. They're sick of the quality of life going downhill, and they're sick of a government that doesn't seem to care. I mean, everybody has the limits, and even I won't be surprised that next year that possibly Republicans might win. I mean, what fear I really wonder what fear tactic the Democrats are going to use. I mean, you can't use what? I mean, you're going to play the Terry McAuliffe playbook because that worked very well. In fact, they have no ideas because they're bought and paid for. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's funny times we live in, guys. Funny times. But I think that. But I'll tell you this: the last night's election, what's been happening from coast to coast, from state to state, this red wave, this is starting to be a big repudiation to the woke politics. In fact, it's a great thing. I think it's going to be a great thing for. It's a great thing for America. It's a great thing for the Republican Party that it might win, but because they're winning. But I think it'll also be a great thing for the Democratic Party too in the long run because they'll probably moderate themselves and say, you know what, we don't want these people. Maybe they will get that message one day, maybe in 10, 15 years, probably. But, anything can happen. Anything. I mean, so basically, so I just want to sum up that the red wave has hit New York. They've been winning in Long Island and they've been winning in New York City as well, flipping city council seats because defund the police is going very well for the Democratic Party. I mean, sometimes you had to wonder who thinks of these things really. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I don't want you guys to keep you guys up too late. But other than that, you guys stay safe and have a good night. Take care.